Hello everyone, welcome to a class of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial for learning video editing. So if you're planning to learn video editing from the beginning, then you are in the right place because we'll cover in this class from the basic to advanced. This is a semi-advanced level class, so if you have any previous experience, then it might be helpful for you to understand this class properly. Let's take a look what you learned from this class. Introduction to Workspace and the interface, importing your media in CapCut, trimming, splitting, and shortcut keys to use, color grading and using LUTs in your video, understanding the keyframing in CapCut, working with green screen and using the background blur in CapCut, making an Instagram reel in CapCut, making an Instagram story in CapCut, making a TikTok video, making a YouTube thumbnail for your video, making a YouTube video in CapCut, making a YouTube short, and lastly, I have shown you guys making a Facebook video. After completing this class, you will be able to learn advanced editing techniques, advanced effects, text and titles, advanced export settings, workflow optimization, and different kind of project examples. This is a project-based class, so during learning, you will have class project. So what you learn, you will be able to participate in class project so you can do practice while you are learning. You'll have supporting resource in this class, so it will be easier for you to learn. During learning, if you face any issue or if you have any question, then feel free to ask me. I'm always there for you to help you. So let's start learning CapCut for video editing together. Hello everyone and welcome you all to the first chapter of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. So now, as this is the chapter number 1, here I'll be giving you guys an introduction to Workspace and the interface of CapCut over here. Okay, so we'll cover some of the basic things right over here as well as some of the advanced parts. Okay, so as this is a semi-advanced tutorial, so let's not waste time and let's get started. So here, first, I will be showing you guys that how you will be able to download a CapCut in your PC. Okay, so first off, you need to come into your Google and from there, you need to basically tap download CapCut for PC. Okay, and the first thing which pops up over here, you are going to click onto that option. Okay, this CapCut page right over here, and if you want to download it basically from here, you guys can just click download for free, this particular icon. Otherwise, there is another way. If you come here, click on this download arrow, okay, and from here basically you guys can choose for what you want to download this. Like, do you want to download it for a mobile, okay, or do you want to download it for a window or a Mac? Okay, so if you want to download it for a window or a Mac, if you just click over here, you guys can see now this file is actually getting downloaded. Okay, so here they will be asking me where do I want to save this particular file. Okay, so for me, I do have already downloaded this thing right over here. Okay, so let's take this as this particular icon, and after downloading this one, what you need to do is you'll have this kind of installer file. And once you have downloaded that file, you guys can install or open that installer and it will automatically get downloaded in your system. Okay, so this is the way how you will be able to download CapCut. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys have understood at least this part right over here. Okay, so now let's go to CapCut, which I have already downloaded. So what I'm going to do is I am going to come right over here. And over here, what I'm going to do is I am going to delete this one. Let's open the CapCut over here. Okay, so basically this is actually the home page of the CapCut. As you guys can see from here, basically you will be able to create up a new project in which you are going to work on. Okay, and underneath here you guys can see I do have this particular project options. Okay, so from here I will be able to see all the recent works which I have worked on. Okay, So from here you will be able to see all the recent works, and basically from here you guys can see this search button. Suppose you do have so many videos right over here, so the way you have named your video, it will just pop up or just come right over here accordingly. Okay, so from here you will be able to search your things out. And next comes this grid and list option. If I want to save this in a list option, here you guys can see it will be showing me kind of like that. Okay, and if I just set it in a grid mode, it will be showing my projects in a grid panel. Okay, and suppose you want to come here, and what you want to do is you want to delete this one, then you guys can just click on this particular three dot over here. You guys can click on this one, and suppose if you do want to rename it or duplicate a same file, or you want to delete it, you guys will have this particular option right over here. Okay, so this is from here also you guys can actually check out this trash if you do have any trash over here. Okay, so now after deleting, what you want to do is you want to restore that particular file. Suppose now if I come here, let's come to this option, let's just delete this particular part. Okay, and I will click on OK. So now I don't have any recent projects right over here. So where it have moved here in the trash option. Okay, so over here now within 30 days, whatever content I do have here in my trash box, or you can call in the trash item option, what I can do is I can come here, select this one, and over here there is another option called restore. I can basically restore this file. Okay, so once I click on restore, now you guys can see I do have the same project over here in my recent panel as well. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to restore this one within 30 days. Okay, but once it's 30 days, it will be permanently deleted. And suppose if I come here and let's just delete this one again. Okay, so I will just click on OK, and from here let's go to trash option, and from here what I want to do is I want to select this, and if I do want to permanently delete this one, here you guys can see now this item will be deleted permanently and can't be restored. Okay, so once I delete it from here, okay, I won't be able to restore this particular thing from here anymore. So I will just delete this file over here, and now I don't have any option how I will be able to restore this thing out. Okay, so over here you guys can actually see the history, like if anyone have shared files with you or you have shared files with anyone. So from here you guys can actually check. Suppose you want to share some files, you guys can actually share your files from here, and over here you guys can also do the sorting. And if you want to invite your friends through different media, suppose if you do want to invite them through email, or if you do want to invite them through WhatsApp, Messenger, you guys can do it from here. Okay, so now again I will go to the home page, and here there is a small icon just underneath the new project, okay, which is auto reframing. Okay, so this is an AI feature added by CapCut recently, so you guys can actually use auto reframing options. So what it basically does is actually it reframes your video accordingly. Okay, so this is quite an interesting option right over here. And over on top, if you guys can see there, I do have the setting options. Okay, so under setting options here you guys can see a lot of things, and if you come here and if you click on settings, here you guys can see basically from here you guys will be able to choose that where do you want to save your files. Okay, so I will just come here, let's come to this part, let's go to desktop, and I want to save my file here in my resource file option. Okay, so I'll just select this particular folder, and all my work, whichever I do it in the CapCut, it will be saved over here directly. Okay, so you guys can see that will be saved over here. So this is the project settings. Okay, you guys can see the cache size, and if you come here and you guys can see now I do have different frame options, adjustment value, image duration. Okay, so a lot of thing is right over here. So basically if you do want to check on the frame rate, you guys can actually check on the frame rate from here. Okay, at what frame rate you want to work. Okay, so I will just take 30 FPS, and from here basically you guys will be able to check on the performance, okay, the encode settings, the interface rendering, okay, and the proxy location and stuff. And basically from here, the last option, if you are a native of different other language and if you are familiar with any other language rather than English, you guys can come here, and from here basically you guys will be able to put on all this type of languages over here. So few languages over here are available, so you guys can choose this one, and from here you guys can use that one as well. Okay, so right now I will just cancel this thing up, and yeah, here you will have your account details over here onto the left hand top corner. So let me create a new project and let me show you guys right over here how our workspace and the interface looks like. Okay, so now once I have clicked on new workspace, here you guys can see this is the workspace in which we are going to work on. Okay, so here you guys can see now I do have different layers. Okay, so we will be talking about this 8 options which I do have here. Okay, so these are most important once you are video editing in CapCut. Okay, so here this, if you are familiar with Filmora, which is a software by Wondershare. Okay, so the interface kind of looks like that. Okay, but not exactly the same. They do have some extra features which you guys will be able to use right over here. Okay, and one great thing about CapCut is that they do have actually a lot of free contents. Okay, so from here basically you will have a lot of presets, different set of filters, different set of audios, and also different set of videos as well. Okay, so this is actually the import panel. Okay, under media, if you come here in the local, so from here, suppose if you just click onto this plus icon, you will be able to import your videos right from here. Okay, and I will be showing you guys in the next class about importing in detail, like different ways of how you can import your video right over here, how you can start working over here as well. Okay, so this is a particular panel from where you will have different kind of audios. You will be able to get different kind of audios as well. Okay, so let's try to understand about this panel first. Okay, so this is the import media. From here you will be able to import your media if you click onto this plus icon, and over here if you go and click on this AI generated, okay, you guys can actually generate a video over here. Okay, so you'll be able to generate a own video using the AI. You can just come here and you can just give up any description, and according to that the AI will basically create one video for yourself. Okay, and afterwards if you just come here onto the library option, here you guys can basically search for different kind of video if you wish to work over here. Okay, so you guys can just move up and down. So there are a lot of videos. Okay, so here if you want any video in the theme of Christmas and New Year, here you guys can see you do have all of these videos regarding Christmas and New Year over here. Okay, so as you guys can see, a lot of videos are over here, and suppose you want to have some video from here, like you want to search for some video, and here you do have a lot of options. Okay, so here if you just click on news, here they will be showing you different kind of videos regarding news. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have different video suggestions, and from here, suppose if I do want to download anything, what I need to do is here you guys can see a small download icon. I can just click onto that small download icon, and this particular file will get downloaded for me right over here. Okay, so this one has been downloaded, and once I've clicked on this video, here you guys can basically see I was able to see that particular thing in my panel. Okay, so now again if you come here onto this local, so here you guys can actually import all their videos, and let's come to the library. Okay, so from here different options of library. Okay, and here are different scenes. Okay, from where you guys will be able to take on different photos and videos for free. Okay, and lastly if I come here and if I just open up the brand assets, okay, So here you guys can see if you want to download this PNG and all. From here, basically, you guys will be able to download this kind of PNG and stuff over here as well. Okay, so these are brand logos which you can actually use in your work as well. Okay, so I'll just come right over here, and that was about the media panel. Okay, and from here, let me also tell you, so once I had created this new project, I did basically rename it. Okay, so if I don't want to rename it, I don't have to do much. Okay, what I need to do right over here is on top, you guys can see it is already named as 0131. Okay, so I'll just come here and I can just name it as introduction class. Okay, so I will just name this as introduction class and just click outside, and here you guys can see under the details option, the name of this particular project has changed to introduction class. Okay, so this was about that. And afterwards, if you want to use different kind of audios in your video, you guys can individually come right over here. Okay, and actually get along with different kind of audios. Okay, so over here you guys can actually download all these tracks. Suppose I want this particular track over here. Okay, so I can just click on this download icon, and now what I'll do is I will just pause this thing. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to access all of these songs. Okay, you guys can see what all musics are trending over here. Okay, so you guys can come here and search for different kind of musics right over here. Okay, and suppose you do want to have some sound effects. Okay, you guys can come here, and over here you guys can actually search for different kind of sound effects. Okay, so basically you guys can search. If you want to search all, you guys can click all, and if you want to search for commercial uses, you guys can use this commercial uses as well. Okay, so I will just click on all again, and here you guys can see the sound effects. And here, if you do have any kind of audio, and if you do want to run a copyright check, okay, so that is quite an amazing option given by the CapCut. Okay, so from here, basically you will be able to run a copyright check. Okay, so if your audio is being a copyright or not, you guys can check it right from here. So after that, from here, suppose you do have a song. Okay, and from here, what you want to do is you have just extracted audio from video. Okay, so that audio particularly, you guys will be able to import right from here. Okay, and afterwards, from here, if you do want to link your TikTok account, from here you guys can actually link your TikTok account from here and enjoy all the features of this one. Okay, and after that, if you come right over here, and this one is lastly the brand music. Like if you want to set up any brand and all, suppose like you are using one set of music for quite a long time or for your videos. Okay, so in that case, you guys can actually select those musics and videos right over here. Okay, in the brand music, you will be able to add only musics, and here I have already showed you guys in the media option, you will be able to save photos and videos which you frequently use. Okay, so that was about that. And now if I just come here onto the text option, here you guys can see I do have different kind of text templates. Okay, so this is the default one. Okay, so here you guys can see you can just click here and add in track. Otherwise, what you can do is you guys can come here, drag it, and you guys can just put it here in your import media option. Okay, so different kind of presets right over here for adding text. Okay, different text animation, and also here you guys can see I do have a lot of presets right over here again. Okay, so different kind of presets over here, and you guys can also check what kind of textiles are in trending. Okay, so you guys can check that. And also under text, you do have different kind of effects. Okay, if you do want to put on different kind of effects over here, you guys can come here. And for title, you do have, if you're doing a vlog, okay, so if you are putting a lower third or caption, different kind of text options are over here as well. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of this later once we import any video. And next comes the stickers. Okay, so there are different kind of stickers right over here, which you guys can basically use in your video. And from here, you will be able to generate different kind of stickers as well using the AI generation option. Okay, and from here, basically, you do have different kind of options as well. And next comes the effects. Okay, so suppose if you do want to put on some effects in your video, so from here basically you do have different video effects, and also you do have different kind of body effects. Okay, suppose if you do want to give any kind of body effect kind like that, and if you want to see anything from here, okay, you guys can just put on your mouse on top of that effect, and over here you guys will be able to see all of those effects a glance. Okay, so you guys can actually have a glance of all of those effects. So that was about effects, and here now I do have the transition option. Okay, so transition is basically when you do have two or more videos, and in between that, if you are putting a smooth transition, like it's from one video it's going to the other. Okay, sometimes if there is a straight cut, it doesn't look that great. Okay, so here you guys can see how it will transit. Okay, so this is how it will basically transit. So you guys can check which one you guys will be able to use, and from here you guys can just click onto this download icon and it will get downloaded accordingly. Okay, and after transitions also I do have different option. In transition I do have the filters option. Okay, so once you are done, and now what you want to do over here is you want to put on different kind of filters in your video. Okay, so if you just place this one here, you guys can see here if you do have any face and stuff. Okay, in that case you guys can use this crystal clear option, and over here there are different kind of filters which you can use in your video. Okay, so you guys can use all of these filters from here, and if you do want to search more, you guys can actually search for it as well. Okay, and lastly over here comes the custom adjustment panel. Okay, so this one is quite an amazing option. Suppose you do have added any video. Okay, so you do have added a video right over here, and you want to customize the whole video panel using this customize layer option. You just need to come here and put this custom layer here on top till the place where you want to put that effect, or you want to put that filter or any kind of effects. You guys can use this customize adjustment layer and put those things accordingly. Okay, so here if you do have any kind of LUTs, okay, you guys can actually get some LUTs from here, and there are basically two different presets which you guys can also use. So there are different options right over here. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys have understood this panel. What is the work of this panel, what all options it will show. Okay, so all of this thing, what I need to do is I can just click once on them, otherwise I can just drag those things and bring it here in my timeline. Okay, so this is this media panel over here, and next comes the player option. Okay, so basically from here what will happen is, suppose you have actually imported a video. Okay, so here they will actually show you guys the preview, they will show you the starting time, and from here they will show you guys the ending time. Here is the play button. We'll be understanding about this one here in our next class. And over here next comes the details panel, okay, or the information panel. So from here you will be able to check the name of this class, and also you will be able to check the ratio, the resolution, and also the frame rate. And from here, if you want to modify anything, you guys can basically modify things out here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see now this is the toolbar. Okay, so from here you do have the selection tool, the split tool. If you want to select leftward, all of it, you guys can select it from here. Okay, and they also do have the shortcut keys. And over here I do have the timeline. This is the undo option, this is the redo option, and over here this is the split option over here. Okay, and if you want to delete everything on the left, you guys can do it using this. And here if you want to delete everything on the right, you can use that as well. And here this is the delete option, and this is one of the feature using which you will be able to record here quite nicely. Okay, so here is the main track magnet. Okay, so if you delete any part, it will just get stick with the other. And here you do have auto snapping on. And if you want to turn off linkage, you guys can turn off the linkage over here. Okay, and here I do have, if you do want to turn on preview access, and if you want to zoom to fit in the timeline, as I don't have any video right now, then I can't use all of this option. And using this one, basically you guys will be able to zoom in and zoom out on the timeline here itself. Okay, so this was about this particular class. Okay, and here if we come around here onto the top option, so this is basically the default layout. Okay, so this is different kind of workspace. Suppose from here, what I want to do is I want to first work with the player. Okay, so I want to view this player right over here. You guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, so now I can basically move this thing up and just place it wherever I do want. Okay, so I can just place it right over here, and again it's back to its normal. Okay, so here it's back again its default layout. And from here, if I want to take out the timeline, so here you guys can see now if I do want to move out the timeline, you guys can see I am able to move out the timeline. And again from here it will just go to default layout. Okay, and here you do have different kind of shortcuts, so we'll be talking about shortcuts in another class. Okay, so which will actually help you to work in this CapCut application. Okay, so shortcuts are quite important and it is quite time efficient. Okay, it actually saves a lot of time when you're working over here. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. So now we are on our chapter 2, and here I'll be showing you guys by importing your media in CapCut. Okay, so how you're going to start importing your media and how you can actually trim it down and stuff. We'll be learning about all of that here in detail. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of the CapCut. So now from here, let's click on new project and it should create me a new project right over here. Okay, and let's just fix this name to importing media. Okay, so I will just name this one as importing media, and now just click on outside. So here in last class, I have already told you that how you will be able to import your media through here. Okay, so now once I just click on this import media option, it will basically redirect me to my PC, from where I will just go to my resource file. So here you guys can see in my resource file, I do have a category of videos, images and audios. So from here, I will just go on to videos, and from here, suppose I want to add a video over here. Okay, so let's take this particular video and let's take this video as well. And what I can do is I can just click on open option, and basically here you guys can see both of these videos have been imported here in my media file. Okay, so under import option, if you do want to import more, you guys can come here, click on this import side from here. Okay, and if you want to, suppose I do have this video. Okay, so from here I want to save both of this video or want to store these videos into a file. In that case, I can right click over here into this panel, click on new folder, and here actually I can just change the name from here basically. Okay, so if I just come here, if I want to rename, I will come here and I'll just rename over here. Okay, so I will just type as imported media. And what I'll do is I will click on save, and this file has been saved over here. So now what I can do is, suppose I want to put on different medias over here. Okay, under this file, I can just drag and drop this one over here. Okay, so if I just go back, okay, so here I will just go to import option again. So by mistakenly I do have deleted, so I will just click on open. And here now just right click, click on new folder, and I will just come here, drop this one over here, and I will just drop this one over here as well. Right click, Okay, and from here let's rename this one as imported media. So I will just name this one as imported media over here. Click on to the save option. Let me just delete the previous name and let's just click on save. So here now, once you're looking over here, you guys can see now I do have only one folder. But once I go inside that particular folder, here you guys can see inside that folder over here, actually I do have two videos. Okay, so if you want to go back again to the same option, here on top you guys can see this option, and over here you guys can come and select this imported media, and again we are back at the same place. Okay, so suppose you do have a lot of folders and suppose 200-300 videos into your project panel. So basically from here you guys will be able to select how you want it, the grid view or the list view, and from here you will be able to sort it down according to all of these options, like what time is created, if you want to sort it by name or you want to sort it by duration. You guys can do that from here as well. Okay, and if you want to sort it according to video, audio and images, so in that case you will be able to sort it from here as well. Okay, so now if I also do have some audios, okay, so I will be able to work on with the audios over here as well. So now let's try to understand how you will be able to import your video. Okay, so from here, as you guys can see now, once I do have clicked on this particular video, here you guys can see how this video basically looks like. Okay, so here you guys can see I am able to get a preview of this particular video right over here. Okay, and suppose I don't want 14 seconds. Okay, so from here basically I just want 10 seconds. So in that case, here you guys can see once I am trimming it down directly from my media panel, okay, you guys can see the starting point and the ending point, or the starting point over here will change in my player preview option. Okay, so here you guys can also see that you are actually previewing the video. Okay, so now if I come here and if I just trim it down a little bit, so let's trim it down to 4 seconds. Okay, so let's come here and yeah, this will be fine. And suppose after this one, what I can do is if I want to import this media, I can just click onto this plus icon, and here you guys can see now I do have this particular video which I do have trimmed. Okay, and how you will be able to understand that this particular video is basically trimmed. Okay, so the video which you do have imported, on top you will have this cut icon which will show. Okay, so from here you do have only downloaded the video, or only till this much of the video over here. Okay, so now this video is of 9 seconds, as you guys can see. And also here you do have different tools. This is the crop tool, this is the rotation. Okay, if you want to flip it, you guys can use that one. If you want to play this video in reverse, okay, so you guys can also do that from here as well. Okay, if you want to freeze any part, you guys can do the freezing option. And suppose from here also I have showed you guys how you can just click on this plus icon over here in the video option, and how you guys can actually get that video. And there is another way. You guys can just drag and drop your video right over here into the same timeline, and here you guys can see now you are able to view this timeline over here as well. Okay, so now if you just move your particular playhead, here you guys can see the content over to that particular place will also show you quite like this. Okay, so over here if you just move this thing around, okay, you guys can see the preview of the video in this player media. Okay, and the total duration of this one is 14 seconds and 11 frames. So using this one, you guys can play, and if you guys click on shift from your keyboard or the space bar from your keyboard, you will see that it will pause and play accordingly. Okay, so it will pause and play right over here. And this one is another option. If you just click over here, if you want to zoom in, you guys can basically zoom in over here. Okay, so now I'll just keep it according to the ratio. And basically from here, you guys can actually choose the screen size, okay, at what ratio So now over here, as you guys can see now, right now I do have both of these videos, and if you want to play it, okay, you guys can actually play it from here, okay, as this first video don't have any audio to it, okay. So how you will actually understand there is any kind of audio or not, okay. So basically here, as you guys can see now, you are able to see that they do have the audio waves. Okay, so here they do have the audio waves, and basically what you can also do is you guys can come here and you guys can adjust those things over here as well. Okay, so once you have selected that video, so basically from here you guys will be able to adjust or scale things properly if you want to give some blending mode and stuff. And if you want to put on some motion blur and all, you guys will be able to do it from here as well. Okay, we'll be understanding about all of this here in our upcoming classes. Okay, so basically in here in this timeline, if you want to actually make any kind of cover, okay, suppose you want to create any cover for it, okay, you guys can come here and select this particular video cover. Okay, so I will just click on allow, okay, over here. And suppose over here you do have other covers, okay, like from here from the whole frame you guys can actually choose which particular image you want as a cover. Suppose if I do want this one as cover, and if I want to come here and edit this image, I will be able to basically edit this image from here as well. If I do want to add some templates, a different kind of frame, text and all, you guys will be able to do the cover design from here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see I already do have these templates, and over here if I do want to add any kind of text and stuff, you guys can see I do have the text and stuff option over here. So I will just cancel this thing from here and I will just click on exit, and I'll just cancel it from here as well. I'll be showing you guys how you'll be able to design a cover over here in CapCut. Okay, so this was about how you will be able to import your media. And once you have imported your media, if you do have these things here in your timeline already, here on top of your video, they will be showing you guys this small icon called added. Okay, so here you need to know that this one is being already added in your timeline. So once again, if I want to zoom this thing, or if I want to fit all this thing here in my whole timeline, I need to come here and I need to click on zoom to fit. And here, as you guys can see, so basically this will show you added, and here this small particular icon, okay, which is actually trimmed. So maybe I need to understand that this particular video is being basically trimmed. Okay, so if I do want to increase the size from this particular end, I can actually do that from here. Okay, so I will just snap this one quite like this. Okay, so let me just snap it quite over here, and I will just place this thing quite like this. Okay, so let's come here, let's take my playhead and let's put here into the first frame, and I can just play it along accordingly. So yeah, I hope you guys have understood this part, like how you will be able to import media. And from here also, if you come here onto the file, so from here also basically you guys will be able to import different kind of media. Okay, so there are different ways, and if you just come here and if you click onto this icon as well, from here also you guys will be able to import media. And under media option as well, you guys can see you guys will be able to search your materials down. And suppose now let me just import a few audios as well. Okay, let's come here onto the desktop option. Let's go to resource file. Let's come to audios, and from here let's try to get some audios. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have few audios. Let me just click on control and let's select these two and let's click on open, and here you guys can see now I do have these audios which I can basically manually add over here. Okay, so now as you guys can see, this particular video, they do have audio as well. Okay, so suppose if I want to extract the audio, what I can do is I can just right click and I can come here and I can either deactivate the clip, otherwise I can just extract the audio. So I can actually extract the audio from here, And if you come down here, if you do want to replace this clip with any other clip, you guys can also do that. Okay, so for me, what I'm going to do is I am going to click on extract this one, and now I can individually work with this audio. Okay, so I'll be able to individually work with this audio. I can also select that how long I want to have this audio track. Okay, so if you do want to decrease the size, you guys can decrease the size over here. Otherwise, just select this particular audio, and what you can do is you can just click onto the delete icon and right click over here as well. And from here, I will also click on extract audio, select this audio individually, right click, and you guys can also delete it over here. And now I want to add this particular audio. What I'm going to do is I am going to drag and drop it just underneath over here. Okay, so I can just drag this particular audio, and let's click on this particular option. Let's just decrease the time. Okay, so let's come here, take this particular part, and what you can do is you can just drag this thing, and now here you guys can see I do have the audio over here accordingly. So now I will just again click on to this option to fit it here in the timeline. And now let's see a preview. I am going to play this thing up. So yeah, I hope you guys have understood how you will be able to different or how you'll be able to take your video individually and your audio individually and work on that. So now again, if you want to come here and if you just select all these things, okay, and if you just right click and if you just group this thing, you guys can click on Ctrl G and it will group accordingly. Okay, so if I just click here, now if I just move this whole frame, it will be moved together. Okay, so now again, if I do want to ungroup it, I can click on Ctrl Shift and G from our keyboard. Otherwise, I can just right click on the clip and I can just click onto this ungroup option. Okay, so now you guys will be able to move this thing individually as well. Okay, so this is how you will be able to work on right over here. And I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will be able to import media and use all of these things over here. Okay, so I hope to see you all in the next class where we'll be learning more about this CapCut. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone. Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of the CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 3, and here I'll be showing you guys about trimming, splitting and the shortcut keys to use in this particular application. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of this here in detail in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here, as you guys can see, now I am here in the workspace of the CapCut application. So from here, basically, let me just import few of the medias. Okay, so let's come here. Let's try to import few videos. So let's take this video and this video as well, and this one over here as well. And now let's open it up. Okay, so here I do have 3 videos, and let's also try to create a folder. Okay, so I will just name this folder as videos. So for that, let's select all these 3, and what I can do is I can just place it right over here, and again select the import option, and at the same time I'm going to import different kind of audios over here as well. Okay, so let's go to these audios. Okay, so here, as you guys can see, I have actually placed all these things down properly that I can work efficiently. So I will just import this media. Again, you guys can right click, click on new folder, and over here just select both of this, and what you can do is you can just import it over here, and I will just delete this one. Okay, so I will just delete this part, and I am going to name this one over here. Okay, so let's name this one as video. Okay, so I'll just name this one as video, and I'll save it. Right click and go to rename, and from here also I'll click on backspace and I will name this file as audios. and I will save it right over here. Okay. So before understanding about trimming and all, in last class I have already showed you. Suppose if you just click right over here in this particular screen, you will get to see a preview of your video right over here. Okay, and basically for trimming is if you want to trim this video right from the starting, and if you want to trim your video right from this side, and after that if you want to import it in your timeline, you guys will be able to do that. Okay, so let me just come over here. Let me just import all of this video over here. Okay, let's select this video as well. Let's place it right over here. And let's take this video and let's just place this video right over here as well. Okay, so now I will come here, select on zoom to fit the timeline, and here you guys can see now I do have these 3 particular videos over here. Okay, so suppose what you want to do is you want to come here and you want to actually decrease the duration. Okay, so from here, let's say I want to decrease the duration of this one. So in that case, what I'm going to do is I am going to select this particular video. So first I'll be showing you guys about trimming. So I will come here, and here once I am here at the starting of the video, you guys can see once this particular thing applies on my screen, I will come here and I'll just drag and drop this one quite like this. Okay, I can choose the frame. So I want from this frame to start, and here you guys can see the total duration of this video have changed. Okay, and if you do want to come here and suppose let's just trim this thing up quite like this. Okay, and if you want to trim this up quite over here as well, you guys can actually trim these videos accordingly. Okay, so if you want to trim these videos, you guys will be able to trim the video from here. Okay, and suppose once after trimming, what you want is you want to actually get back the remaining part of your video. Okay, so suppose I will come here and I can just regain back the position where it was before. Okay, so the main difference between trimming and splitting is here you do have excluded few of the parts of these videos. Okay, but those things are recoverable, like you will be able to recover this clip. Suppose I do have actually deleted this part or things like that. So in that case, now what I can do is I can come here and I can actually increase this one, and if you do want me to increase on this side as well, I can actually increase this side as well. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to do that. But here, once you split your screen, suppose I come here and this particular middle part, I want to actually delete this part till over here. Okay, so I want to delete both of this part. Okay, so now if I come here, so there are different ways of how you will be able to use that thing. So let me come here. Before that, let's go to the import page again. Okay, so let's come here. And if you want me to just go back to all pages, let's come here in this audio option. Let's just place this audio right underneath. Okay, so I'm just using the drag and drop method. So let's come here, and suppose if you want to give up a cut, okay, so you guys can basically trim your audio, but if you want to cut your audio, you won't be able to recover the deleted or the cut part. Okay, so now again, let's just fit to zoom in the timeline. Let's come here, let's just select this one, and here you guys can see once I am coming in the same position as the video, here there is a snapping option. Okay, so here you guys can see it's just snapping into the line exactly. This one is because I do have this option on. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have this option on over here, okay, which is auto snapping. So I can just turn it off by just clicking in. Okay, but I used to prefer being this one over here. Okay, and again, what I can do is I can just click on zoom to fit, and it will just basically fit here into my whole timeline. So suppose from here I want to cut a particular part using split. So let's select over here, and from here I want to cut till this part. Okay, so let me just select my playhead properly, and I can just check these things right out over here. Let's place it, and there are different ways. So the first way is if you just click on to the split option right over here. Okay, so if you just click on split here, you guys can see that I do have splitted my video right over here. Okay, so if I want to split it over here as well, what I can do is I can come here, and if I just come to this option from here, I can just go to this select option, right click, and here you guys can see I do have the option called split. I can select the split option, and whenever I'm coming to this particular playhead part, here you guys can see there is a small snap towards the playhead. Okay, so if I want to cut here, I can just click once, and here you guys can see I do have cut this particular part right over here. Okay, again I will come here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take my selection tool. Okay, and after that, let's just move this playhead all along, and let's select this part, and if I just click on backspace, it will be deleted. Otherwise, I can use the delete key from my keyboard as well. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have deleted that particular part. And suppose what you want to do is you want to actually use the shortcut key from your keyboard, which is just keep your playhead right over here, and if you just click on Ctrl B, here you guys can see you guys will be able to split this thing up. Okay, so here now if I just move this, here you guys can see I do have a small split over here. But here if I come here and let's click on Ctrl Shift and B. Okay, so here once I have clicked on Ctrl Shift and B, you guys will be able to see that over here I have actually cut the video and also the audio at the same time in one click. Okay, so it doesn't matter that how many layers you have over here. Okay, if you want to cut all the layers through, okay, in that case you guys can just click on Ctrl Shift and B from your keyboard. It will just cut your from the playhead wherever you do have your playhead throughout. Okay, it doesn't matter how many layers you do have over there. Okay, so I will just come here and this particular part, and over here also I am going to click on Ctrl B. Okay, so here now I will just come to this position, and from here now if I just come here and if I just click on split, okay, I can come here and I can just do a basic split as well. Select this one, click on backspace from our keyboard. Okay, so here you guys can see this changes right over here. Okay, so if you just play this one or if you just move this thing along, you guys can see how it actually works. Okay, so this is the playhead. This is the main thing which will actually help you to move this side and that side. And here you guys can see there are two other options. Okay, so from here what you want to do is if you come here and keep your playhead suppose right over here. Okay, so let's come here, let's keep my playhead down here, let's just place this one accordingly. Okay, so now let's just move this playhead, and what I want is whatever content do I have over here, what I want to do is I want to delete all of it. Okay, so if I just come here, let's just delete this audio, and over here onto the right hand side whatever content do I have, I want to delete at once. Instead of coming here and selecting all of these layers and deleting it, I want to delete it from here itself. Okay, so in that case what I need to do is I need to come here and click on W from my keyboard. Otherwise I can just click on this option called delete right. Okay, and here you guys can see I will be able to delete right from here. Okay, suppose if I come here and if I just delete everything on the right hand side, here you guys can see I do have deleted the right hand side option. Again here you guys can see I do have deleted the right hand side option here as well. So the same way if I come here and if I just click on this delete right option, here you guys can see now I won't be able to delete this part. The same way if I come here and let's say if I just select the select option, and from here let's move this playhead, and now over here what I want to do is I want to delete on the left. Okay, so here you guys can see I do have deleted the content which was there on the left hand side. Okay, if you do want to go back, click on Ctrl Z from your keyboard and you will be able to go back over here accordingly. Okay, so this was about that, and if you want me to play this thing up, let's So yeah, that was the video which I do have cut. I have showed you about the cut and the split option. Okay, so the places where I had basically splitted and I have deleted that part. Now I won't be able to recover it using this split option, but using trimming, if you have trimmed any part, now you will be able to recover this particular part from here as well. Okay, so here you guys can see you will be able to recover things from here. Okay, so now come here, place this thing quite like this, and yeah, this one looks good. So now let's try to understand different type of shortcut keys. Okay, so already I have showed you guys few of the shortcut keys over here. So using Control B, you will be able to go to split screen. Suppose if you want to click on Control B and if you want to do some splitting, you guys will be able to split things accordingly. And if you click on Control Shift and B, you will be able to cut through, or you'll be able to split multiple layers at the same time. Okay, so this was about that. And now let's go to the shortcut option. Here you guys can see this is for split. And if you want to select mode, okay, you guys can click on A. And here you guys can see these are different shortcut modes. Okay, so here this is the in point and the out point if you want to show the panel. So I will be showing you guys basically the most useful one which we normally use. So the first thing we use is the split one, which is Control B and Control Shift B. I have already told you. And if you want to get it to the split mode, you guys can just click B from your keyboard and it will redirect you to that particular page. Basically, if you want to modify these particular keys, suppose I want to select mode using S. Okay, so if I just click on S, here it will show me a page where it shows that shortcuts conflict, like a shortcut already belongs to timeline. Okay, do I want to override? If I override, then actually it will change. And I will just cancel this thing for now. So basically you guys can actually change all these keys according to yourself. Okay. And in last class, I have showed you guys how you can group and ungroup. So basically the shortcut key for grouping and ungrouping is Control plus G. And if you want to ungroup, it's Control Shift and G. Okay, so if you have selected a group, and after that, if you click on Control plus Shift plus G from your keyboard, it will be ungrouped accordingly. Okay, so that was about that. And to zoom in, it's Control plus from our keyboard. And if you want to zoom out, it's Control minus. Okay, and if you want to do the auto snapping, which I have already activated from here, as you guys can see. So if you want to activate it like from your keyboard, you guys can just click on in from your keyboard and you can turn it on and off accordingly. Okay, so now let's come down. Okay, so if you want to move up and down, you guys can use your scroll button. And if you want to go left and right, you guys can click on Alt, then you can use the scroll button over here. Okay, so if you want to extract audio, okay, which I have showed you how you can extract audio by right clicking, there is a shortcut key for that as well, which is Control plus Shift plus S from your keyboard. Okay, so that was about that. And now if I just come here down here, if you want to zoom to fit in the timeline, here you guys can also use Shift plus Z, which is this particular option over here. Okay, so you do have all the shortcut options. Let's go with player. If you want to play and pause from your keyboard, you guys can use the space button from your keyboard. And if you want to exit full screen, suppose you do have already turned this thing into a full screen. Okay, so in that case, now what you can do is you can just click on Control plus Shift plus F from your keyboard. And over here, if you want to zoom into the player itself, okay, here as I already do have this player tab. Okay, if I want to zoom into the player tab, what I can do is I can click on Alt, Shift and plus. Okay, so make sure that you click on Shift as well. Okay, and if you click on plus, it will just choose this accordingly. Okay, and same way, just Alt, Shift and minus for zooming out. Let's see some of the basics. Okay, so if you guys have familiar with any other software, okay, like whether it be any Microsoft Word or Photoshop, Illustrator, anything as such, you guys will be familiar with all of these shortcuts already. Like for copy, it's Control C. For cut, it's Control X. And to paste anything, it's Control V. But here, you can also delete it using backspace from your keyboard, okay, which is quite new over here. And suppose you want to create a new project. In that case, you guys can click on Control N from your keyboard. And if you want to actually get a full screen, you guys can click on Control F. And if you want to exit that, just you can select the escape button, okay. And suppose once you're done working, and now I will export it, okay. So from here, you guys can just click on Control E from your keyboard, okay. So I am using the shortcut 1, okay, from here. And now if you go to others, and here if you want to see all of these options, you guys can use all of this as well. Like if you want to split captions, you guys can click on enter. If you want to caption line wrap, it's Control Enter. And if you want to resize the text box from the center, you guys can click on Alt and the mouse accordingly, okay. So these were all the shortcuts over here. And yeah, I hope you guys have understood this class on the shortcut keys. What is the difference between trimming and splitting, how it's helpful, okay. So let me just come here and let me click on Control E from my keyboard. And over here, you guys can see using that shortcut key, now I am able to get this particular thing right over here, like which is this particular video. I can basically choose where I want to save this file, and I can also choose the title of the video, okay. So let me just save this video as split and trim, okay. So I will just save this one as split and trim. I can see where do I want to save this file. Let's go to downloads. From here, let's go to this resource file, and over here I can actually select this particular folder, and this one will get downloaded, okay. So I'll also show you how to edit a cover, or you can also call it as the thumbnail, okay. So I will just click on export, and it should get export nicely, okay. So I will just cancel this one. And after exporting, if you want to share it to your YouTube account and or your TikTok account, you guys can do it from here as well. So I will just cancel this part from here. So I hope to see you all in the next class, where we'll be learning more about this CapCut. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. Now this is chapter number 4, where I'll be showing you guys about color grading and using LUTs in your video, okay. So once we move forward into our projects, where I'll be showing you how you can actually make an Instagram reel, how you'll be able to make an Instagram video and stuff. In that case, this all are quite important, okay. So here I'll be showing you guys color grading and how you can actually customize LUTs once you downloaded that one. So we'll be learning about all of it here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here, as you guys can see, now I'm in the same workspace in which we worked on in our last class. So I'll come here and maybe I'll just change the name. I will just rename this page as color grading. Okay, so I will just name this one as color grading, and I'll just save it right over here. Okay, so the thing which we are going to see is color grading first, and after that I'll be telling you guys about the LUTs right over here. Okay, so let's try to understand. So here, as you guys already know, I do have these particular videos and I also do have the audios right over here. Okay, so if you guys just look how this video looks right now, okay, if you come here, this is how it actually looks, and if you come here, okay, this is how this video looks. Okay, so over here, first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to come here and I am going to put on some color grading over here. I'll be showing you guys different ways of how to do that. And suppose what I'm going to do now is, once I've selected this particular clip, now here you guys can see I do have my properties panel. Okay, suppose if I do want to decrease the size quite like this, okay, you guys can adjust this workspace as well. Okay, and here onto the properties panel, I will come here and I will just go into this adjustment option. Okay, so basically from here only you guys will be able to do the color grading. Okay, so now I don't have any LUTs applied over here. Okay, so for that I will come down, and once you come down under the adjustment option, okay, you guys can see I do have different things. Okay, suppose if I want to increase the temperature, you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, if I do want to increase the temperature a bit, and from here I will just decrease the hue a little bit, and basically if you want to increase or decrease the saturation, okay, in that case you guys will be able to increase or decrease the saturation as well. Okay, so here you guys can see the changes on my screen. That outside part, it will just glow up a little bit. Okay, so here I will increase the saturation as well. And again, under lightness, many times we do have to work over here. Okay, so if you want to decrease the brightness a little bit, I will just try to decrease the brightness a little bit to give this one cinematic view. Okay, so here I have decreased the brightness a little bit, and here you can also adjust the contrast. Okay, so maybe I will just increase the contrast a little bit over here, and over here everything you guys will be able to see right over here. Okay, like every changes you make, you will be able to see here in the player media. So if you do want to increase the highlight, okay, you guys can actually increase the highlight. If you want to decrease the shadows, you guys can decrease the shadows. And let's come down, and here also you do have these options where if you want to work more on with the whites, okay, you guys can just increase the whites. Let me come here, let me just increase the whites still here. And if you increase the blacks, you guys can see. So I will just come here and maybe I will just decrease the black a little bit, quite like this. Okay, so I will come here and you can also just go one by one. Let's select 5 over here. Instead of using this controller, you guys can also manually come here and you guys will be able to put on all your things right over here. Okay, so if I do want to increase the illumination, okay, so let's come here and you guys will be able to add some illumination over here. Let's keep this one at 5. And if you want to sharpen this particular frame, okay, you guys can come here under the effects option, and from here basically you guys will be able to sharpen this thing up. Okay, so if you sharpen this one totally, this is how it will look. And let's just decrease the sharpening option. Okay, let's come here, let's just decrease it to quite an extent. And now if you want to increase the clarity of the image, you guys can come here and increase the clarity of your frame over here as well. Okay, and if you just want to fade, okay, you guys can actually fade this layer. So let me come here and let me just decrease the fade. And if you want to apply the vignette option, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can apply the vignette option right over here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look. But let me just give this one some dark vignette over here. I will just keep this thing one at 30. So I'll just keep this thing at 30. And this was about color grading. Okay, so here I have color graded this particular part. So I just did the basic things over here. Okay, so from here basically if you do have any particular number which is being told to you, or you already do have set that one, okay, so in that case what you can do is you guys can come here and put all those numbers over here. In that case you don't have to manually adjust those numbers over here. Okay, so now once you are done, you guys can actually save this particular setting as a preset. Okay, so if you just click here, and here you guys can see you do have add this one as a preset. Okay, so I will just click on OK over here, and suppose the one which you have applied, let's come here and let's just see, okay, so how it used to look before. So if I just click over here, this is how it used to look before, and now this is how it actually looks. Okay, so it gives you a nice cinematic view over here. And the same thing which I do have applied right over here, if I do want to apply the same thing to all these frames of video which I do have here, I can click on apply to all and it will be applied to all the clips. Okay, let's come here and let's just check this thing out. Okay, you guys can see here also I do have applied, and here also you guys can basically see I do have applied that thing over here as well. Okay, so now over here, once you have done here the basics one, okay, I have already showed you how it actually looks. I have applied it to all the frames. And if I come here in the HSL option, and from here basically you guys will be able to change this hue and saturation from here as well. Okay, so if you come here, change the saturation. If you want to increase the brightness, you guys will be able to do it from here as well. Okay, and basically from here you guys can see now I do have the color curve over here. Okay, you guys can come here and you guys can actually adjust the color curve over here as well. Okay, so if you want to come here, if you click on apply to all, it has been applied to all the clips. Okay, you guys can actually do some animation right over here as well. Okay, so this was about color grading. And now let me show you another way of how you will be able to do the color grading from here. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will come here, and if I just play this thing, let's so here you guys can see actually this thing is being played quite nicely over here. Okay, so here you guys can see it's just lagging a little bit over here. Okay, but once you download, you won't have that particular problem right over here. Okay, so this was about this, and now let's come here and let's show you guys another way how you will be able to do the color grading. Suppose from here there is a particular part only in which you want to adjust. Okay, so you guys can come here and you guys can just check for these presets. So here actually I do have different presets. Let me download all of these presets from here. Let's go to this adjustment option, and from here if I want to put this adjustment layer, I can drag and drop it right over here on top. Okay, so I can just skip this one right over here, and suppose only this part I want to adjust. So now I will keep it right over here, and again come here into this temperature option, and if you want to decrease the temperature, so let's come to this option, let's place it right over here. Let's just make it quite blue, and now I will just do the opposite of how I was doing. So I'll just increase the hue, let's decrease the saturation a bit, and what I'm going to do is I am going to come over here, and over here I am going to apply this vignette quite like this. Okay, so I will just try to apply it quite like this, and if you want me to increase the fade, okay, you guys can increase the fade over here as well. Okay, so here you guys will be able to see there is a smooth transition. Okay, so now if I just play, okay, so now at this particular part here you guys can see the difference between frames. Okay, so it will come over here, and over here it will just quite change like this. Okay, so again once it comes over here, okay, it will just come here, and from here it will just come to this part again. Okay, so this is how it will move on. And if I want to add this adjustment layer throughout this video, okay, I can come here and I can just place it right over here. So now if I just play it, okay, let's just play this thing right over here. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so for this video I do have actually applied this one. Okay, so I will just click right over here and play this thing, and this one is only being adjusted, or this particular adjustment layer is only being applied over here itself. Okay, so I didn't go or put in the whole place. So this is another way of how you will be able to make this color grading and stuff. Okay, so if you want to adjust this particular layer, let me just decrease the size of this adjustment layer, and let me just keep this one for a small part. Okay, so only for a few seconds you will have that particular effect. Okay, so here now, if I just play this thing up, let's just play this thing, and only for this particular part again it will change. Okay, so this was about the adjustment layer, and now let's try to understand about the LUTs. Okay, so here you guys can see now, if I don't have any LUTs over here, I can just go to Google, and basically I can just search for free LUTs, and I will get a bunch of LUTs. So already I do have downloaded few of the LUTs. And before that, what you need to do is, suppose I want to put on some LUTs right over in this layer. Okay, so at this point you guys can see now I don't have any LUTs over here. So to import that one, I'll just click here onto the import option, and here you guys can see, if I just go to desktop, or let's go to downloads, so here I do have few LUTs which I can actually apply. Okay, so I will just click on Ctrl A to select all, and I will just click on open, and here you guys can see they are just importing my materials over here. Okay, so they're just loading all the LUTs which I actually have over here. Okay, so I'll be showing you guys that one in a different clip. Okay, so let's come here and let's wait for it to get imported first. Okay, so once this one is imported, here you guys can see I do have a lot of LUTs which I can actually use. Let's go to the media option. Let's go to video, and from video, now what I'm going to do is I am going to import another video. So let's come here, and from here let's go to desktop, let's go to my resource file, and from here let's go to the video options, and from here let's check out this particular video, and let's just open it up. Okay, so I do have this particular video, and what I'm going to do now is I am going to come here and just place this video right over here as well. Okay, so I will just place this video, and right over here, if you want to put another audio, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can basically put other audios over here as well. Okay, so let's go to all, and from here, as I do have this audio, okay, so again I am going to select all of this audio all together, and I'm going to click on delete. Let's take this audio again, and now I will just click on add. So I will come here and I will just place this audio right over here again. Okay, so now I will just click on this option, zoom to fit the timeline. Come here, and what I can do is I won't cut, but I'll just trim this thing down. So I will just trim it right over here, and again I will just fit this to the timeline. So here you guys can see I do have this adjustment layer over here. And now if I just come to this particular footage, okay, as you guys can see, once I have come to this particular footage, let's go to this adjustment layer. Let's take this adjustment panel, and from here, if I just click on custom adjustment, so here from here, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put out this adjustment option, and from here let's just increase the size over here. Okay, so for this particular video I do have this adjustment tool layer. Okay, so over here now what I'll do is, once I have uploaded all of these LUTs over here, now if I come here in this LUT option, okay, and if I just click over here, here you guys can see there are a lot of LUTs which you can actually use. You guys can actually see the differences over here as well. Okay, so basically you guys will be able to put on all of these LUTs. Let me take this neon one from here, and I can actually check out the strength from here as well. Okay, and there is another option. If you want to, suppose you already applied a LUT over here, okay, you have already applied a particular LUT over here, and you don't want that one. You want to the changes you made, you want to actually reset all of this. So directly you guys can come here and just click on the redo option, then it will actually go back to normal again. Okay, so after that, if I just come over here and I can actually change the strength. Okay, so if I want it in 50% strength, or do I want it in 75%, I can come here, I can adjust from here. Otherwise I can just basically put it from here as well. Okay, and if you do have any human and stuff over here, and this type of image where you do have some animals or some humans, in that case you can just turn it on to make skin tone more natural. Okay, so you guys can come here and you guys can make your skin tone more natural. So it's quite an amazing option. And after that, applying this LUT, what you can do is you guys can come down and basically change this temperature. Suppose you want to increase the temperature, you guys can actually increase the temperature from here. If you want to decrease the hue, you guys can decrease the hue. If you want to increase the saturation, you guys can do that. Actually work on with the brightness over here as well. Okay, so let's come here and let's try to check this one. Okay, so if I just decrease the contrast, I will just increase the highlight a little bit. Focus more on the blacks. Okay, so I want this to go black. Let's increase the whites a little bit. Okay, so I'll just increase my white a little bit. Let's come down and let's just sharpen this image. So now over here, as you guys have applied this thing, okay, so if you do want to increase the fade, okay, you guys can actually increase the fade maybe till 50%. Okay, so I'll just increase the fade over here. And one thing you guys need to understand that you are not applying all of these effects over here into this particular clip. Okay, so you're applying all of that right over here into this adjustment panel. Okay, so if I just decrease this adjustment panel, okay, and here I will just show you guys how it is to look before and how it looks now. Okay, so there is quite a lot difference. Okay, so here you guys can see this is the difference between this adjustment layer and all right over here. Okay, so if you just come over here, let's place it. Okay, so let's place it over here, and what you can do is you can just come to this point and you can just play this total thing up. Okay, so if you come here and now if you just play it, decrease this adjustment layer a little short over here, and let me play it again. So here you guys can see now the changes over here was quite noticeable. Okay, so here you guys can see this is how it looked with the LUT layer, and this is how it looks without any effect. Okay, so anytime if you don't want the LUTs, you guys can come here, select this particular layer, and you guys can just turn off the LUTs. Okay, so you just turn off this LUT, and over here you just turn off the adjustment as well. If you don't want the LUTs and the adjustment, you guys can just turn it off anytime you want. Okay, and again if you just turn it on, it will just apply the way how it was before. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys have understood this class on how you will be able to do color grading, and also how you guys will be able to work with the LUTs. Okay, how to actually do the color grading. Okay, and there is no particular thing that you need to do color grading in that way. Okay, there is no particular number. It totally depends on the type of picture you are working with, okay, or the type of frame or the video you're working on with. So I hope you guys have understood this class on how to actually work over here. So I hope to see you all in the next class, where we'll be learning more about this CapCut. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut Semi-Advanced Tutorial. So now this is the chapter number 5, where I'll be making you guys understand keyframing in CapCut. Okay, so how you will be able to use the keyframes to make your design or your video look quite good. Okay, we'll be learning about all of that here in this class. I'll be showing you also how you can actually use the slow-mo motion, okay, over here, how you're able to use the slow-mo and how you will cut your files as well. Okay, so let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of the CapCut. So from here, I will try to create up a new project. Okay, so I will just come here, click on next, and over here, I will just click, let's click on next again. Let's just click next. Okay, so they're just showing you guys a preview over here, and I'll just click on OK. So now what I'll do is I will just select all of it and I will just delete it from here, and let's go to my media and from my media, let's select this and let's delete this one. And let's come here onto my import option. Okay, so I'll come here in the import option. Let's go to my desktop, and from here you guys can see I do have my resource files. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to come over here, and let me just get this one in a large icon view. Okay, so over here let's go to videos, and here as you guys can see I do have different kind of videos. Okay, so now let's select from here. Okay, so let's come here and let's try to select that particular video. So I'll come here and I'll just open up this file. Okay, so I already did one. If you guys do want to see that, I will show you guys. So this is how I'm actually going to make. Let's go to desktop, and from desktop let's go to resource. Okay, so let's come here to the resource. Let's go to videos, and over here, like, I will just play this thing up. Okay, so here you guys can actually have this kind of Instagram reels. Okay, there also I have actually showed you guys keyframes, and here also you guys can see I do have the keyframes in which I have actually showed you guys about this option. So let's come here, and here you guys will also see a small animation. Okay, so here you guys can see the animation. I'll just close this thing down. Okay, so I will show you this one in Instagram reel. Okay, so I will first show you guys this one. Let's come here, let's just select this one and bring it over here in CapCut. Okay, so you guys can basically put this one here in CapCut as well. Okay, so let's come to import, and from import let's come here and let's just put that video. Okay, so where is that particular video which I do have selected? And if I just come here onto the desktop, let's go to the resource, and from here I will just go to the videos option again, and from here you guys can see this is the video. I'll just open it up. Let's select this one and let's just click on delete. Okay, so now I will just play this thing up, and before that one, here you guys can see I do have a small preview. Okay, so I'll just come here, drag this one and put it over here in this particular timeline. Okay, so here you guys can see the total length of the video is 1 minute 1 seconds and 6 frames, which I will decrease it by a lot. Okay, so I'll just come here, let's select this one and let's just place it right over here. And the total duration of the video now is 13 seconds and 6 frames. Okay, so maybe I will just put this one exactly to 15. Okay, so let's come here, let's take this one, and over here you guys can see if I just place this thing at the beginning, let's come here, and from here let's decrease it by 10%. Okay, so now this one is at 14 seconds. Okay, so let's come here, let's place it, and now I will just click onto this icon which is zoom to fit the timeline. So here I do have all my frames, and what I'm going to now is I am going to put up cuts. Okay, so I'm going to put up some cuts over here. So let's come here. You guys can come here and just select this, go to split. Otherwise, you guys can also use Control B. Okay, so I will just put up a cut over here. Let's come to this point. Okay, so you guys can come to this point and give up a cut, and you can come here and you guys can also give up a cut. Okay, so you guys can come here, and what you can do is now select each part again using the selection tool. Okay, so I will come here, and what I can do is I will just select each and every part, and I can put different kind of filters. Okay, so let's come here, I can come to this option, let's try to put on different filters. Okay, so here I will just download all of this. Okay, so let's try to download all of this from here. Okay, So now this is being downloaded. What I can do is I can just put it over here in this particular frame. And now let's select this one and let's put this one over here. Let's select this and put it right over here again. I'm not just checking, I'm just putting it over and I'm just placing it to show you guys. Okay, so now if I just play this thing up, okay, let's see how it actually looks. Okay, you guys can see the color changes over here. Okay, so now here you guys can see this looks a bit brighter. Okay, and let's come here, and here also you guys can see a bit of change. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will just come over here, and now I am going to take up a text box. Okay, so I will come here, I will click on default text box and I'll just click onto this plus sign. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to place it from here till here. Okay, so I will just place it quite over here, and I will just start a little bit late. Okay, so I want to start it here in this place. And now let's bring my playhead over here on top of my text that I can preview and work. So I'll come here, click on backspace, and I will just type Greenland. Okay, so I'll just type Greenland over here. And now I will just click on this font and I can just select the font, whatever I want to choose. Okay, if you want me to take this one, okay, so let's take this. And now I can just increase the size. Okay, I can just increase the size of the text, and let's change the text color to black. Okay, so I can just change the text color to black, and I can just put this one right over here. Okay, so now as we are going to learn about keyframing, okay, so once I have selected this layer, what I can also do is select this particular same thing, click on Alt, and what you can do is you can just place it right over here. Okay, so you guys can just place it right over here. Otherwise, you guys can just copy this one, copy and come here and just paste the same thing. Okay, so I will just put this thing right over here. Okay, and now place the same thing over here in the same panel. So come here, and now after writing this one, once you are happy with your font size, okay, and the font color, each and everything, okay, you guys can come here, and here you do have an option over here. Okay, so now I will just come here onto the opacity option, and here this is basically called keyframes. Okay, so keyframes are basically used to do some small animation. Okay, so I will come here, and now what I'll do is I'll just bring my playhead, and here I will just see there is a snapping. So I'll just come here on the first frame, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up a keyframe, and I will just bring my opacity to 0. Okay, so now again I will just move it few frames further. So till this time, again what I'll do is I will come here and I will just increase my total opacity. Okay, here you guys can see now I do have 2 keyframes. Okay, so now the same way again I will just come right over here, and now I will just add a keyframe. Okay, and again when I just come at the ending, I will come here and I will just add another keyframe where it will just blend out. Okay, so now from here, if I just play this thing up, let's see how it appears. Okay, it slowly appears and it will slowly disappear quite from here as well with the change of color. Let's click on my space button over here on my keyboard, and now again what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. Okay, and I am going to choose some different things. Okay, so let's just bring it down, and what I can do is I can just give this thing or just change the text. So I'll just click on backspace and type a beautiful day. Okay, so I'll just type this thing down, and if you just want to go up on top, and from here if you do want to change the font size, okay, so now let's just decrease the font size from here. Okay, and now let's just place this thing here in the center. So now let's place it here in the center. So from here, what you can do is you can come here, take this particular text. If you want to change the color, okay, let's go to the color options. Let's try to see which one looks better. Okay, so you guys can come here and try to put on some colors. Okay, so let's put this one and let's place it quite over here. And what you can do is you guys can come down and use some keyframes. Okay, so now you guys will use keyframe to scale the size and all. Okay, so from here I will come, and what I can do is I will just click onto the position keyframe. Okay, so I will just keep on the position keyframe. Otherwise I can also go with the scaling option. Okay, so now right over here what I can do is I'll just use the position one. So over here I will add a keyframe. Here let's come to the starting. Okay, and over here let me add a keyframe. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I am going to come over here down. Okay, so I will just be down over here, and now again what I'll do is I will just change the position. So let's come right here, and now let's just change the position of this box. So come here and just move it up quite like this. Okay, so just move it up, place it here in the center. Okay, so from down it will just come up right over here in this particular position. And again, once you come over here, what you can do is you can just come down, and here you guys can also use the opacity option. Okay, otherwise you guys can just go with a scaling option. Okay, so now I will just turn my keyframe on. Okay, so what I can do is now I will just go at last. Okay, and what I can do is I will just scale it down. Okay, so I will just scale it down to 1, and using this one let's see how it actually looks right now. Okay, so let's play this. Okay, here you guys can see now I do have this particular text, and now over here again you guys can see my writing appears, and here it will just go back down. Okay, so this was the video editing right over here. And over here also, if you want to put on any kind of animation, okay, so you guys can actually put on different kind of animations which you also do have over here. Okay, suppose you want to put some adjustment layer and stuff. Okay, so you guys will be able to put on some adjustment layer and stuff as well. Okay, so now if you want to align these things, okay, if you want to increase the timing, okay, you guys can increase the timing and maybe just change the keyframes a little bit. Okay, so come here and just increase the size a little bit. Okay, place this one quite over here, just increase the timing. Okay, so now what I can do is I will come here, and now I will just put this thing here on top. So now let's play this one and let's see how it looks. Okay, so here it will appear so fast, and it will kind of become small and disappear over here. Okay, so you guys can actually use this keyframes to actually animate your video the way you want. Okay, so one thing left, which is audio, which I need to put it from here. Okay, so I can just come here into my CapCut and let's search for adventure. Okay, so I will just search adventure and I'll just click on enter. Okay, so once I am over here, you guys can actually check these things out. Okay, here it's getting downloaded. So now let's just listen this up. So here I will just check this first one as well. Okay, so let's take this one. Okay, so I will just come here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click onto this add option. Okay, so I'll just take this add option, maybe trim a bit. Okay, so I'll just trim this one a bit first here. Okay, so let me just trim this thing down, place it over here, click on to zoom to fit timeline. Okay, and now I will just trim this thing down here as well. Now again click onto the same option. Okay, so now over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to fix this particular part. So here now my video is basically ready. Okay, and if you want to work with this particular audio. Okay, you guys can come here and you guys can actually work with the audio. Okay, so if you want to put some fade in, okay, so you guys can see, you guys can just put a fade in of 1 second, and over here also you guys can put up a fade out for 1 second as well. Okay, so I'll click on one and enter, and now I will just normalize the loudness, and here I won't use any noise reducer, okay, or any noise reduction. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to So yeah, I hope you guys have understood this one, how you will be able to actually make a video with keyframes. Okay, so now the last thing what is left is I want to export this thing. I'll come here and I'll just change the name to keyframes. Okay, so come here, click on shift and click on keyframes over here. Okay, and I want to export it to my downloads, or let's go to desktop, and from here let's go to the resource file, and I want to just select this particular folder, and now let's click on export. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood this class. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter where we'll be learning more about this. Okay, so here you guys can see this is being exported as well, so I'll just cancel this thing. And if you want to see it over here in my system, so I'll just come here, go to desktop, go to resource file, and let's go to Windows, or let's come right back over here. Let's just view it in a large icon. Okay, so here I do have the. So that was all about today's class. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye, everyone. Hello everyone, and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut Semi-Advanced Tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 6, where we'll be working with green screen and we'll be using the background blur in CapCut. Okay, so we'll be learning about all of this here in this particular chapter. So let's not waste time and let's get started. So here now I do have this home page, and now from here I will click on new project. Okay, so it will create me a new project right over here, and now I will just click on import, and from import I will go to my videos, and from here let's take this green screen, and over here what video do I want to put, that one I will put right over here. Okay, so where's the video? Let's try to check it right over here. Otherwise, let's go to desktop and let's go to resource, and I don't have video over here. Okay, so let's check this one again once. So over here, I will take this one and let's come down, and let's take this one over here as well, and let's open both of this video. Okay, so the first thing what I'm going to do is I am going to drop all these videos over here on top. Okay, so I will just bring this video right over here, and now what I'll do is I will just take this video up as well. Okay, so now come here, let me just put it over here, and let me place it right over here as well. So let's come to this green screen, and let's just trim this green screen down as well. And now I'll just zoom to fit here in the timeline. Okay, so the total duration of the video is 5 seconds. Okay, so now from here, as you guys can see, now I'll just come here onto this green screen, and what I can do is I'll just come here and go to the cut out option. Okay, so after importing here, you guys can see now I do have this cutout option, and from here what you're going to do is you are going to click on auto cutout, or you will come here and I will just cancel. Okay, so I'll just cancel this one and I'll just apply none, and I'll just turn it off again. I will just select the chroma key over here. Okay, so now not this auto cut, I will create or click on the chroma key. Let's take this eyedropper tool from here and let's select this particular place. Okay, and once you click on this green screen here, you guys can see the color picker have already picked the color. And from here now you guys can change the strength. Okay, so you guys are able to select the strength of the video. If you want to put some shadows, I'll be showing you guys about that. Let's increase the strength of the video. And now here, if I just play this video, okay, here you guys can see this is how it actually looks. Okay, so here you guys can see this is how the video will look. And if you just come here and let's just increase it over here on this particular sides, as you guys can see now, if I just play it again, okay, so these borders over here are not looking that great. Okay, so here in borders you guys can see there are some lines. So I'll just come back here, and now what I can do is I will just increase the shadows over here as well. Okay, so now I'll just increase the strength and I'll just increase the shadows. And if I just click, now here you guys can see it looks quite better than the last time. Okay, so this is how you guys will be able to increase this thing up. And suppose if you come right over here, okay, and now you guys will be able to decrease the screen size. Okay, so if you want to decrease it, you guys can come here and maybe just select this one again, and you guys can actually increase or decrease the size accordingly. So let's come here, let's put it over here. So now again I will come here, select this frame and adjust this one accordingly. Okay, so I'll just adjust this one, and let's now play this thing from the beginning itself. Let's come here, let's play it, and here you guys can see how it actually looks. Okay, so now this is the whole video, and over here if you want to have this audio extracted, you guys can right click and click onto this audio extraction option. Now you can just select it quite like this, and you can also click onto the delete button to just delete that layer. Okay, and again from audio, what I'll do is I'll just search for skating. Okay, so I will just search skating and I will click on enter. So I will just write skating. Okay, so I will just write T and I'll just cut the A over here and I'll just click on here, and let's see, I do have this musics which I can basically download. Let's download few of this from here. Okay, and let's check which one looks good. Okay, so I will come here and now let's just play it.
It's been a while since I've seen.
Okay, let's go.
Play this one as well, and let's take this one. Okay, so I will just pause this one, bring it right over here. So I'll just bring it right over here. Let's just trim it down from this side. Let's click on zoom to fit timeline, and now let's just decrease it from this end as well. Okay, again click on the zoom to fit timeline. So now here if I want to just place it here at the beginning, and now here I will just keep on the alignment, and here I will select 1 second. Okay, so let's select 1 second from here. Okay, so let's select 1, and over here also in the fade out option, let's select 1 from here. Okay, so I'll just select 1 and I'll just click on enter. So here now let's listen this thing up. Let's play it.
Okay, let's go.
So yeah, this is how you guys will be able to work with the green screen. Okay, so I will just save this file. Let's go to export and let's come here and let's just select a name as green screen. Okay, so I will just type green screen. Okay, so let's type screen over here, green screen. Let's just come to this one. Let's click on backspace. And now I will just add another E and let's place it over here, green screen video. Okay, so I'll just type video and I'll just export it over here. Let's go to desktop And from here, let's go to my resource file. And here I will select this folder and I'll
Okay,
just
let's
click on
go.
export. Okay. So this one has been exported as well. And I'll just cancel this thing. I hope you guys have understood this class. And now I will just quit this file and I'll just go back to my home page. Okay. So here now I am here in the home page. And now let's try to see how you'll be able to work on with the background blur. Okay. So now let's click on create a new project. Okay. So I'll just come here and I will just go to import. And from here, let's take this particular video. Okay. But this one was the one which I basically did. So I'll just take this video and I'll just open it up over here as well. Okay, so now in my import media, I do have this video which is 15 seconds long. I'll place this video right over here and I will just stream this video down. Okay, so I'll just stream this video down a little bit. Okay, so let's come here. Let's stream it to around 10 seconds. Okay, so I'll just stream it to 10 seconds. Okay, let's come here and let's go for exact uh, 10 seconds. Okay, come here, and if you do want to increase or if you want to put it quite over here, now this is exactly 10 seconds. Okay, so right click over here. If you want to copy this layer, you guys can come here. Otherwise you guys can just click on to Control C from your keyboard as well. And now over here you guys can just paste the same thing up. Okay, so I'll just come here onto this top layer. Okay, and onto this top layer, what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the cutout from the video option. And here last time we used the chroma key. Okay, so to show you guys the green screen, and here I will use the auto cutout. Okay, so I will just click here onto the auto cutout option. And here you guys will be able to see that I do have my background auto cut out. Okay, so over here you guys can see this one is processing. Okay, so it totally depends on the speed of your PC in which you're using on. Okay, so here you guys can see the auto cutout is being applied. And suppose now you guys are not able to see any changes, okay, over here. But now if I come here and if I just deactivate this layer, okay, if I just hide this track, here you guys can see this is how it actually looks. Okay, so you guys can actually use this cutout. And suppose here onto this auto cutout option, you guys also want to put some strokes and some solid strokes, some straight strokes, some offset strokes and some dotted strokes. You guys can also download all of these things and you guys can put all of this thing accordingly. Okay, so come here, let's just download all of this and let's see how each and everything over here looks. Okay, so you guys can come here, select the color as well. Okay, so suppose if I want to take some yellow color, okay, so let's take some yellow color and you guys can just place it right over here. Okay, and what you can also do is you guys can actually increase or decrease the size. Okay, you guys can actually change the opacity maybe to 50%. Okay, so I'll just give this opacity of 50%. And now when I click on this layer here, you guys can see there is a small difference over here on the side, which look good over here. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here onto this down layer. Okay, and after that, I am going to go to my effects. Okay, so from effects, now I'm going to search for blur. Okay, and now I will just click on enter. Okay, so here you guys can see you do have different kind of blur effects. Okay, so here you guys can see there are different blur effects over here. Okay, so here as you guys can see, this is another layer. Let's place it. Okay, I will come here and I am going to put on the blur effect over here. Okay, so let's just put this thing here on top. Okay, so here you guys can see how it used to look. Okay, so let's come here, go to this option, and if you want to see the effect, okay, here you guys can actually increase or decrease the duration of the blur effect as well. Okay, so if you come here and suppose if you just decrease it by this much and decrease it by this much from here as well, and now let's just place place this thing down. Okay, so right now the starting was fine, as you guys can see, and now here ending also you guys will be able to see that the blur will be gone. Okay, so here as you guys can see the blur is gone over here as well. Okay, so you guys can come here, select on this option, and from here you guys can actually check out the details if you want to see it from here. Okay, so this is one effect. Okay, I hope you guys have understood how you will be able to use both of these options over here under cutout, the chroma key and also the stroke. Okay, so I have also showed you how you can actually change the color, the opacity and the size of the stroke. Okay, so I have used solid stroke. You can use a straight stroke as well. Okay, so now I will go to audio and let me search for audio. So I will just type modeling. Okay, and I'll just click on enter. Okay, so from here you guys can see I do have different audio. Let's just play this thing down. Let's hear those things out. Let's click on this one and let's hear this. Let's select this one and let's select the first one. Okay, or maybe the second. So let's take the first one and let's just place it right over here. Okay, if you do want to trim this one a little bit, you guys can trim it. Now just fit it here into the timeline. Okay, so come here and just trim it down from here as well. Let's start from this corner and let's keep it right till here. Okay, so I'll just on the snapping and all of this again over here. I will just come here and it will just snap. Okay, so let's come here. Let's just try to put this one over here. And if you just want to come down, you guys can basically come down from here as well. Okay, so let's select this one and let's just come here at the starting. If you do want to decrease it by a bit, come here, place it, and now just click Ctrl Z. Okay, now bring it right over here. Again, click on zoom to fit the timeline. Okay, so now this 10 seconds video is ready, and let's give it 1 second fade in and 1 second fade out. Okay, so now let's just play it up and let's hear this thing out. So yeah, this was the video. Okay, and this looks great, and let's just normalize the loudness and let's just play it over here again. Okay, let's come here, let's click on the space bar. So here, this is how you guys will be able to actually work with the background blur over here in CapCut as well. Okay, so the last thing what I'm going to do is I will just change the name over here. Let's name this one as background blur. Okay, so let's type background blur. Okay, and let's go to export and let's come here and let's select export to, let's go to desktop. Let's select this resource file and I'll select this folder and click on export. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone. Hello everyone and welcome you all to another chapter of CapCut semi-advanced tutorial. So now we are on our chapter number 7 where I'll be making an Instagram reel in CapCut. Okay, so let's not waste time and let's get started. So over here, as you guys can see, now I'm here in the home page of the CapCut. Okay, so I already worked over here. Okay, let me show you guys the video, okay, of an Instagram reel. So let's come here, let's click on this one and let's just play it up. Okay, so this is the one which I had created before. Okay, and now I will just close this up again. And again, what I'm going to do is I am going to import some media here in my new project. Okay, so I'll just click on import. Let's go to videos. And from videos, this was the file which I worked on. Let's go to the raw file. Okay, so this is the raw file. I'll just open this video up. Okay, and let's just drag and drop it here in the total timeline. So this is of 10.8 seconds. Let's decrease it to exact 10. Okay, and what you can do is you guys can actually give some cuts. Okay, so if you want to come here and if you want to give a cut, click on Control B from your keyboard. Let's come here. Let's take up a 2 seconds gap. Okay, let's come here. Let's go to this exact 4. Okay, so I will come here, click on Control B again. Okay, so I'll just click on Control B and let's just select this part. Okay, exactly at 7 seconds. Click on Control B to give a cut. Okay, so now I do have total 4 parts. So what I can do is I want to actually give this some slow-mo effect over here. Okay, so now what I'll do is I will just decrease this one. Okay, and here you guys can see now I will just decrease the speed quite like this. Okay, so if you want me to play it, here you guys can see this is how it is being played. Okay, so now if I just increase the speed by half, okay, let's say I will just increase the speed by half. Let's now play this thing up, and here you guys can see the slow-mo effect. Okay, so now I will come over here, and what I'll do is now I will just change the duration. I will just make it a bit faster. So I'll just come here and maybe I will just make this one a bit faster. Okay, so let's go till here. And what I'm going to do is let's select this one. And now I am going to go to double. And this one I am going to increase or I'm going to decrease the speed a little bit. Okay, so I'll come here and I will just give this one by 60%. Okay, so now I am going to put on these things. Okay, and let's just play it out and let's see how it looks. Okay, so here you guys can see now again this will be a fast mo, and here you guys can see again I do have the slow mo video over here. Okay, so now after increasing and decreasing the sizes over here, what I can do is I can just take up a text box. Okay, so for that I need to go to the text and click on default text, bring it up right over here on top. Okay, and now I will just place it maybe from here till here. Okay, so I will just place this box till here. And what I'm going to do is now I'm going to bring my playhead, and here let's just increase the size. Come here in the text box, go to backspace, and now you guys can write the journey. And now you guys can actually check the size and take out the frame which you want or the text font size. Take this one, and what you can do is you guys can just place it here on top. Okay, so you guys can just place it here on top. And now again I will just come here and I will try to take another box. Okay, so I'll just click on copy, come here on top and paste. Okay, so I will come here and paste, and what I'm going to do is I am going to keep it right over here. Let's just bring it down, and over here I will type begins. Okay, so I will just type begins. Okay, so come here, type S, and now I'll come here and I'll just delete this one. And here now I will come to this point, and what I'm going to do is I am going to take some dark font. Okay, and over here as well, now if I want to take some ash font, okay, I can also take this one as well. So this one I am going to increase the size a little bit. Okay, and if you want me to put this one down, okay, I can just come here and let's just go back to this point, and what you can do is you can just place it right over here. But the same way, what you need to do is you need to just keep this thing and bring it right over here. Okay, and maybe till here as well. Okay, so I'll just place these things right over here, and from here it will actually appear and it will come till here. Okay, so let's come to this point, and what you can do is if you just want to bring it here on top, you guys can also bring it here on top as well. Okay, so now if you want to see it in a full frame, this is how it looks. Again, click on escape to go back, and here if you want to put on keyframes, you guys will be able to put on keyframes. Okay, so now again, let's come down. Okay, so as we are creating an Instagram reel, I will come here into this blend option, and starting, what I'll do is I'll come here and I will just click on give a keyframe. Okay, I will just click and give a keyframe, and I will just decrease the opacity to 0. Okay, so now I will come right over here. Okay, and this particular part. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another keyframe. So I will just come here and another keyframe is being added. And now let's come here. Let's select this one. Let's come at the beginning of this. Okay, and what you can do is you guys can actually change the opacity from here as well. Let's select a keyframe. Let's go to 0. And after that, what you guys can do is come here and add another keyframe. Okay, so the keyframe which I'm going to add over here is I will come here, increase the opacity, and here I do have the keyframe as well. Okay, so now let's come here in this part, and from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another keyframe, and now again I will just come over here, and now automatically I will just add another keyframe here as well. Okay, so now the same way, if I come here, what I'm going to do is I am going to add another keyframe here. Okay, let's check this out. Okay, so right over here. Okay, so I will just try to place right over here, and now I will just take a keyframe. Okay, and what I'm going to do is when I come here last, I will just change it from here. Okay, so now as you guys can see, I do have added few the keyframes as well. Okay, so now let's just play this thing up. So here you guys can see this is how it will appear. Okay, and this is how it will actually end. Okay, so here you guys can see it will just go out, or it will just fade out quite like this. Okay, and now if you want to add some kind of stickers and stuff, you guys can also do that. So again, go to media. If you want to import it, okay, you guys can come here and you guys can actually import it. Let's click on import, and over here you guys can see you do have these videos, but you don't want the videos over here, you want some images. Okay, so under images here you guys can see I do have different images, okay, which I can actually put. Let's click on this one, and again what you can do is you can just click on this one as well and open it up. Okay, so once you open it up, from here you guys can actually put out this image, drag and drop it over here. Okay, so you guys can just put on these PNG files. Okay, and you guys can just arrange and put this thing quite properly. Okay, so if you guys can come here and only for this few seconds. Okay, so now I will just come here and place it accordingly. Let's just place it over here. So now let's play it up. Okay, so here this is how it will look, and what I can do is if I want to put on some blending motion, we can also put that one. So let's come here. Okay, so at the beginning what I'm going to do is I am going to select this keyframe and change the opacity, and again what I'll do is I will just come right over here, and over here now I will just change the opacity to 100. Okay, so now over here you guys can see, and let's play this thing. Okay, and here now again what I can do is I can just come here, maybe select this one. Okay, and maybe place it right over here, and now I will come here, and again what I'll do is I'll just come to this part, and over here I will just give this one a keyframe, and I will just decrease the keyframe from here as well. Okay, so let's play this thing up. Okay, so it will appear quite like this. Okay, and you guys can work over here. And suppose in this video, what you want to do is you want to put different kind of effects as well. So if you want to put in all of this, you don't have to do individually if you want to only put one kind of effects. So for that, what you need to do is you need to go to adjustment, and you can just select adjustment layer. Okay, so just place this adjustment layer from here. Let's place it here as well. And now you guys can go to effects, and from here you guys can check different kind of effects. Okay, so here you guys can see there are different effects over here. Otherwise, individually also, if you want to do, okay, you guys can come here, take this adjustment layer, and maybe increase the temperature a little bit, and maybe increase the hue. And after that, what you can also do is select the saturation and select the brightness. Okay, and now let's come down. Let's go with the contrast over here. And if you want to work with the highlights, you guys will be able to work with the highlights over here as well. Let's put some shadows, and let's go with some whites. And if you want to go in the blacks as well, and here you guys can see the illumination. Okay, I will just keep this one how it is. And from here, you guys can basically increase the clarity. Okay, so if you want to increase the clarity by 20%, you guys can do that. And let's just sharpen this image up by 10. And from here, let's use the vignette option as well. Okay, so now let's just select the vignette option quite like this. And now if you want to save this as a preset, you guys can also do that. And now go to this one, and if you want to work with the hue and stuff, and let's go to curve. If you want to add up a bit, okay, you guys can actually add up a bit over here and work on with all of this. So let's save this as a preset. Okay, so now I will come here, and again what I'll do is I'll just go to this basic option, and now let's just play this thing up and let's see how it actually looks. So let's just play it, and this is how it will look over here. Okay, you guys can see the video looks quite nice. And over here, now the last thing which is left is going to the audio panel. And from audio panel, let's type biking. Okay, so I will just type biking, and I will just click on enter. Let's see what all suggestions do I get from here. So let's download all of this for. Okay, let's hear this out. So let's put this one, the first one over here. Let's come down and let's put it right over here. If you want to trim it down, you guys can trim it down from here. Let's just zoom to fit in the timeline. Let's come here, and what you can do is again put it over here. Now just decrease the timing. Let's place it right over here at the starting. Let's come here and let's just place it here as well. Okay, so now let's go to the audio option, and from here you guys can select 1 second fade in, and over here in the fade out option also I will just take 1 second. Okay, so in this one I want to normalize the loudness. Okay, so now let's just play this thing up, the last preview. So let's just see it. So this is how you guys will be able to create some stunning Instagram reels over here. Okay, so now as I have created this one, okay, what you guys can also do is you guys can actually put on some reel logos. Okay, so if you want to do that, you guys can do that. Otherwise, from sticker option also you guys can try to find. Okay, so if you just type reel and all, okay, let's type reel and let's click on enter. Here you guys can see you do have this reel option. So what you can do is you guys can come here, and now you just have downloaded. What you can do is you guys can just select this one and now just place it here on top. Okay, now just place it here on top, and what you can do is just keep this string throughout. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease the size, and over here what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it somewhere over here in one corner. Okay, so I can just place it here in one corner. If you want to decrease the size a little bit as well, okay, you guys can come here and work this thing out. So now let's just play it. So here again, what I'll do is I'll come here and I'll just decrease the size a little bit more. Okay, otherwise I will just come here, and what I can do is let's select this layer, and if you do want to bring it down, okay, you guys will be able to bring it down as well. Okay, so if you want to come here, let's select this. If you want to scale it, you guys can basically scale it from here as well. Okay, so if you want to give this one up a rotation, let's go with none. Okay, so I will just keep here, and I will not keep any things over here. You guys can increase or decrease the size. Maybe the other thing what you guys can also do is you guys can come here, maybe just bring this thing down a little bit, and this one also, let's come here and just bring this down a little bit as well. Let's place it here on top, and let's just decrease the size by a little bit. So now this one is ready. Let's see a preview. Okay, let's come here, let's see a preview. So yeah, this one looks good. Now this is placed perfectly. So now last thing is going to export, and now say changing the title name. So let me change this name to Instagram Reel. Okay, so I will just name this as Instagram Reel. I will save it here in my desktop into my resource file. Let's just select this particular folder and let's click on import or export. Okay, so I hope to see you all in the next class where we'll be learning more about this CapCut. So I hope to see you all in the next chapter. Till then, take care and goodbye everyone.